Negativity seems to be something that we can never get rid of. We all know that it can cause depression, anxiety, we become unable to focus at work, procrastinate a lot. We all experience negativity in our lives and it seems to stick to our minds longer than we want it to be. So let's learn about negativity because a problem will persist until we educate ourselves to deal with it, right? So let's start with why we tend to focus more on the negative experiences. It is because we all have negative bias. We are wired to focus more on the negative information compared to the positive or neutral information. And this bias led us to be more attentive to the negative information, giving more importance to it. Well, when we think about it, if we knew something is going to be fine, we don't really think about it. We don't need to worry about it. So it is pretty normal that the bad means to stick. Because if we are to compare how we process positive and negative outcomes, we will definitely spend more time thinking about the negative. So where does negativity comes from? Well, unfortunately, negativity is everywhere. You wake up this morning, your hair looks messy. Then while you're driving to work, you saw a major car accident. Once you reach office, your boss come and tell you that your client turned down your offer. Your wife then call you and tell you that your puppy fall sick and just won't eat anything. You think of, what the hell is happening today? Then your colleague next to you come to you and tell you, hey, Jenny is pretending to be sick again. Now we need to cover all her works. So you see, negativity is everywhere and we can't really do anything about it because people constantly reporting pain of the day rather than small joy. They talk about what is wrong, what is unfair, what is never going to change. We play victims. We always think that why all this always have to happen to us? Why are we always the victims? But we never thought about we, by default, focus more on negative information. Next, negativity is contagious. We are short of living in the culture of complaint and more often we join them. We are wired to conform. We prefer to stay like-minded. We just don't want to be different, right? If most of the people around you are complaining, your mind will tell you not to be that special guy, rather not to deal with conflict. So eventually, we join them. But the more negativity that surrounds us, the more negative we become. When people come to you and complain, constantly complaining, then you will tell another guy that he is so negative, always complaining. But you didn't realize you are also complaining to another person now. So you see, negativity is contagious, right? You need to always remind yourself, negativity can stop from you when you stop spreading it further. The wrong solution. Before we get into what is helpful, let's talk about the wrong solution. When you are in negative state, you seek for help. Other people often told you not to think about the negative thoughts, only focus on the positive thoughts. Even I myself sometimes tell people to do so. I will always tell people to stay positive, but I was wrong. Let's say for the next 10 seconds, try not to think about snake because a snake can harm you, right? Let's not think about it. Tell yourself to remove it from your mind just for 10 seconds. You will start to realize your head is full of snakes now. The harder you try, the more snakes that will appear in your mind. The more you ask yourself not to think about it, the more it will appear. This is actually something I learned from a video by Sadhguru. Hey, if you made it this far and you learned something from this video, consider giving me a sub because it means a lot to me. So, what can we actually do about negativity? Number 1, see it and accept it. Instead of telling yourself not to think about it, grab a piece of paper and write down all your negative thoughts. This can help you contemplate the situation. The point here is not to blame yourself for having so much negative thoughts. It is normal to have them. What we want to do here is to be aware of it. Stop the negative self-talk and identify what is in your mind. Help yourself see it. Is it something that is really happening or is it just your imagination, thinking and plotting all the worst possible outcomes? Even if it is something that is really happening, you can actually make better plan on paper than in your head. Then you must also accept the negative thoughts you have. Don't try to erase it from your mind. Remember the snake story? The more you tell yourself not to think about it, the more it will appear in your mind. Accept that it is absolutely fine to have negative thoughts because we are just a normal human being with feelings and emotions. Accept that it is fine, and then now, since you have written it down, you see it more clearly, you can definitely find a way to deal with it. Number 2, 25-75 principle. This is actually something I learned in the book Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. We don't always surrounded by positive people all the time, right? So the trick here is to spend only 25% of your time with negative people and 75% of your time with positive people. Spend more time with the people who inspire you rather than bringing you down. Staying with a better person will only make you better. They will help you grow. But if you have difficulty in allocating your time in such a way, what you can do is to regulate how much time is best for you to spend with negative people. Set a maximum time that you can spend with them. If you think that 30 minutes talk with them a day is the maximum, then keep that number in your mind and do not exceed it. You will need to judge for yourself how much time you will need to allocate. Number 3, manage emotion. Fear, depression, frustration. These are the emotions that usually hit you when you are in negative state. 2 things I would like to suggest here. Number 1, you are not your emotion. Instead, it is just a feeling that you have. And this is super important to remember always. Don't use the word, I am angry, I am scared. Instead, use the word, I feel angry, I feel scared. Secondly, emotions are temporary. Right? I believe you heard about many times before. But when our emotions are a little out of control, we often forget about this. We give away our power and we release our emotions to the people around us, creating even more negativity to our surrounding. We make permanent decisions like breaking up or even divorce just because of the negative emotions that we have. Remember, emotions are temporary. Don't act on it. Don't make permanent decisions when we are emotionally unstable. Act only when you are calm. Number 4, spend lesser time on social media and news. I would strongly suggest you to spend lesser time than you do now on social media and news. Why? Social media. Seeing other people sharing all their wonderful life experiences when you are so stuck in life. This will only make your days worse, thinking more about how bad is your life. You see, people only share the highlight reels. People only share when they're experiencing something good and wonderful. People share good news but not bad news. But because we have so many friends over the internet, it gives us an impression that everyone is living a good life, which is far from truth. So stop watching, stop seeing how people live their lives and start living yours today. Same goes to news. What we see on news is always the bad story. The war, the stock market crash, the terrorist attack, the accident, your favorite team loses the match. People pay lesser attention on the things that are going well because when things are good, why worry? We pay more attention on negative event by default, and with all this bad news that we see on TV, this will only make us more negative. So you should definitely cut down your time on social media and news. Number 5, self-compassion. Have you ever noticed how hard we can be on ourselves when things go wrong? It is like we are our own toughest critics, constantly blaming ourselves for the mistake we make. But here's the thing, we are only human. We all have vulnerable moments where life can knock us down and put us in negative state. Practicing self-compassion is super important, even though it is not always easy. Just think about how would you treat a friend that is going through tough moments? You will offer him love, understanding, and support, right? So why don't you do the same to yourself? Next time, when you are facing a challenge or when you are feeling down on yourself, remember that you deserve kindness and compassion too. Well, that's it for this video. Negativity will always be with us. It will always be there. But once we be aware of it, once we learn how to deal with it, it is not that scary actually. And although we will still have those vulnerable moments where negativity can hit us, but once we have all this knowledge, we can surely find a way out. Hit the like button if you think this video is helpful, share to your friends and family, and subscribe for more of my future video. Until then, let's grow our minds together. Bye bye.